Dean, we haven't seen them too often here at PCR. It's great to have them here tonight.
Yeah, the presentation and the racing into these cars continues to improve. Now Colin Farr's down in the pits going through one of these cars.
Let's have a close-up look at a V8 Dirt Modified. See over here, the bonnet's just been taken off this car. We see the chassis rails. Very similar construction to a sprint car, but made from mild steel, not chromoly. Instead of running torsion bar front suspension, this team of Scotty Cannons is running coilovers on the front. But you see, very heavy tubing, heavy railing. These cars are quite heavy. They weigh 900 kilos. You'll also notice too, a big difference to these cars compared to a speed car, sprint car chassis, or even a leader car chassis, is this bottom chassis rail down here. It's actually square. That's because the ruling in this division is you must run a bit of square tubing on the bottom of your chassis. It must be 3 by 2 inches, and it must be 75% the length of the frame. So that's an interesting point. Moving back through the car, the motor in one of these cars, 355 cubic inch Chev, steel block, steel heads, with a carburettor on top against fuel injection. Of course, sprint cars, fuel injection, V8 Dirt Modifieds, carburetted. Knocking out about 600 horsepower in one of these machines. Similar again, big crash bars on the side, bigger right rear tyre compared to the left, so these cars again run stagger like all the other divisions in Speedway. And moving through to the back of the car, this shot here probably illustrates the best of all a V8 Dirt Modified. As you can see, they look incredibly big, but break them down, they're very narrow, just like a sprint car. You can see in through here. Torsion bar suspension on these cars. Shock absorber, Jacob ladder, very similar to a sprint car. It's just this bodywork on the outside that gives you the illustration these cars are so big. So there you can see a V8 Dirt Modified, a unique creature, 900 kilos, 600 horsepower, no wings on top. It's a great category. Budget, of course, compared to a sprint car, but provides some great racing.
A V8 Dirt Modified expert, Colin Farr. Great tech talk there, mate. Obviously, some very interesting cars. They're saying in recent times these cars are starting to resemble the attitude of a non-wing sprint car. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, and they've really improved them. They seem a lot quicker, the cars handle better. All the cars now having similar body shapes to it. This division's really moving forward.
In fact, the new World of Outlaws ownership have taken ownership of some of the bigger Dirt Modified series in the US of A. Eggins out of one, Kiehne, Lowe, Snedden, Mark Robinson and Scott Cannon. Look at that front 3 rows. Goodness. Foy, Ferry, Shoot, Josh Brown and Ian Turner out of the back mark. But it's fair to say, Cole, the first 3 rows, they're as heavier names and as good a names you're going to see in this racing category anywhere.
No, you're right, Dean. This will be a great front row, especially as they head down into turn number 1. And it's Eggins against the jump there in car number 96. The black machine jumps away quite well. Kiehne there running in second.
Look at Tony Snedden. Of course, he's one of the few V8 Dirt Modified guys that is actually domiciled in Sydney. And look at Scott Cannon too in the Kaisak powder coating machine. He's on a charge as well. And Bruce Kiehne, interesting man in second place in the Team 316 entry. Of course, Kiehne is a devout Christian and is happy to recognise and acknowledge that fact quite often at presentation time.
Yeah, sure is, Dean. He's a pretty good V8 Dirt Modified driver as well. Car looks beautiful running there in second position. That's in there, car number 6.
Beautifully presented race car and has beautiful machinery. Had a chance to check that car out in the pit area. Beautiful equipment on that race car. And of course, it's quite a successful retractable syringe needle. And I'm told actually he's won an Australian Design Award for that fact. So Kiehne has a great variety to his life, let's say.
Yeah, sure does. And now doing what he loves the most, I think, driving a V8 Dirt Modified, running there in second position, still trying to run down a race leader. That's Ray Eggins up front in the black machine.
Yeah, certainly. Eggins in that Wes Edgens machine certainly has been very strong on the occasions we've seen him at Parramatta, already dealing with some lap traffic. As you can see, they're very, very similar. Take the superficial paneling off these cars, and they really do look like a non-wing sprint car. The box tubing, you're talking about that in your tech talk, Colin. Interesting enough, in America, I know one of the limited Pennsylvania sprint car series run box tubing on the bottom frame rails to try and stiffen the cars up and maybe even the field a bit somewhat. Don't know how, but they do it.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. I guess the reason would be that it make the car stiff. They don't get as much drive, and it really comes down to driver ability. As we see the white flag out now. 1 lap left to run for our race leader. There he is on screen, the black machine. Ray Eggins, he heads down the back straightaway now for the last time. Been a dominant performance. He started from position number 1. Really thought the Queenslander, Bruce Kiehne, would give him a tough run up front, but he got the jump and has never been headed. He comes out of 4 for the last time.
Great to hear the noise of the V8 Mumbo. Eggins takes the winning car, number 96. Bruce Kiehne second in Queensland 6. And third to the Sydney star, Tony Snedden rather, in car number 99. Sorry about that, Tony. Good action from the V8 Dirt Modifieds.
And Dean caught up with this man, the race winner, Eggins, in the pits earlier tonight. Here we are in the pits at Parramatta City Raceway, and it's great to see the V8 Dirt Modifieds back in action. And Ray Eggins, do you enjoy running here?
Yeah, I love the place, you know. We don't get to run here at Parramatta much, you know, but I'd love to see us come a little more, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people say that you guys really circulate around here in a really sort of crowd-pleasing way. Good racing, and you get around there pretty fast.
Yeah, I actually don't know the times what we run around here, but it's a speed factor, I suppose. On the straightaways, we don't have anywhere else. Lismore's a circular type track, and it's sort of more momentum up there, you know. So.
Yeah, Lismore, very much a hotbed of modified racing in this country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome up there. You know, you got probably a good 5 or 6 guys that are right in the meat of the action, and it's just every club shows full on.
Looking at tonight's action, what are you hoping to achieve here? Can you win this deal tonight?
Oh, look, you know, there's blokes like Bruce Kiehne and Mark Robinson. You know, these guys know how to run and good on slick tracks, and this track goes a little slick. We struggle a little with slick, but I think we can always put it in the top 2 or 3 if we can have a go, you know.
Well, Ray Eggins said in better all positions 2 or 3. He won the earlier heat rush here again from Parramatta City Raceway.
Yeah, that's correct. Colin running out of breath. I need to get you on a Stairmaster regime as soon as possible, mate. Only joking. Josh Brown out of 1. Ian Turner out of 2. Scott Cannon out of 3. Stop punching me, Cole. Rodney Shute out of 4. Tony Snedden out of 5. Scott Foy out of 6. Warren Vassell out of 7. Bradley Lowe out of 8 in the low earth moving machine. Bruce Kiehne out of position 9. And Ray Eggins on the back mark. So the back row this time, Cole, should be a beauty. This heat race for the mad V8 Dirt Modifieds.
Yes, total reverse order from our earlier heat race. Let's see how good these guys can do it from the back shot there of Lowe in car 41. He's making his moves early in the low earth moving machine.
Yeah, beautifully presented race car there. Oh, Tony Snedden gets a bit of a love tap there from car number 68. That's Ian Turner, the yellow car. But Snedden pushes it up track, gets great exit speed out of turn number 2. Eggins still a fair way back, so a lot of work ahead of Eggins to move through this very impressive field of V8 Dirt Modifieds, 350 Chevrolet capacity, and very, very fast.
Yeah, Lowe there, still running in 3rd position on the outside. Track probably a little bit hard for these guys to pass on at the moment. Problems for Kiehne.
Terrible luck for Bruce Kiehne in that Queensland 6 Team 316 machine. He'll have to restart at the rear of the field. Bit of sparks there coming out of the back end of the car. Hope he's all right.
6 laps left to run. Just touching on the point, it's a little bit hard to pass at the moment for these drivers. Track's a little bit slick down the bottom. There's a ledge building up about 2/3 away up the track, and that is the fastest way around. So to get past somebody, you either need to go right up the top and run right through the rough clay building up around the outside of the circuit, or run down the bottom where it is a little bit dry.
Yeah, Mark Robertson, of course, in car number 9 is well known for running in the upper section of the racetrack. We've seen him do that here at Parramatta City Raceway. Oh, gee. Car 41 there, Brad Lowe had a lot of understeer coming out of turn number 2, has regathered it and pressuring Snedden out of turn 4, and Eggins has come from nowhere with 4 laps remaining. The V8 Dirt Modifieds are turning it on, but Scott Cannon, wow, he's checked OUT.
Oh, what a battle there for second up front, but still, as you said, Scotty Cannon comfortably at the moment leading coming out of turn number 4. But the battle for second, it's Lowe now who has the position in car 41. Great battle there with Snedden and Eggins. Eggins is the man on the move. He started at the rear of this heat race, now up into 3rd, make that 2nd.
What a run. That has been the star performance in this heat race. Absolutely scintillating stuff. Checkered flag, proudly brought to you by Titan Garages and Sheds. And it's a clash of the V8 Dirt Modified Titans here. Squared in the dirt. Yep, you can drive a sprint car. Rod Bond Prestige Smash Repairs and Speedway Racing News. This has been a great heat race. Mark Adams' father is helping him out once again tonight.
Yeah, it's a good point. We see Eggins' car now has disappeared off screen. Must have had a problem. He had a big drive from the rear of the field. Oh, look at Scotty Cannon backing it round, just hanging on to take the heat race victory. Car getting very loose there towards the end. Bradley Lowe in 2nd. 3rd will go to Tony Snedden in car number 99.
Gee, I hope Eggins is A-OK and is able to come back out later on. That was a big, unfortunate situation for the driver of car number 96. But Scott Cannon, that's a great performance.
And Dean caught up with Bruce Kiehne earlier. Another one of the well-known modified constabulary is Bruce Kiehne. Bruce, happy to be here at Parramatta. Do you enjoy this place?
Oh, of course I enjoyed any modified race I would.
What is it, the banking?
Just the whole track itself, the way that it's not closed in concrete and you've got a bit of room to move.
Look, the fans are definitely warming to the modifieds. I'm sure you guys would like to see some more racing here in the future. Silly question, I guess.
Yeah, of course you will, and you'll see tonight, we'll put on a good show here tonight too. Put on an excellent show for the Australian titles in Melbourne. They're still talking about it, so.
Yeah, I've heard that. And looking at the track, there's a lot of moisture in the track, and I think you guys like it when it's a bit sticky, a bit tacky, don't you?
We like a hooky track, that's for sure, but we deal with the slick stuff all right as well.
Lismore, you race up there a fair bit. How tough is it up there on a weekly basis to race against guys like Mark Robertson and Tim Mawson Co?
Well, Morsey's from Melbourne, so I've been racing for the last 3 weekends with Morsey and them, and it's been really hard, yeah. They're really fierce competitors.
Well, down to the business part of the night for the V8 Dirt Modifieds. The qualifying heats are over. We're set for their A main event.
You pump Colin or what?
Oh, I can't wait. Ian Turner starts from 1, Wayne Harrison from outside the front row. Then it's Rodney Shute, Josh Brown, Brian Poole, Bradley Lowe, Bruce Kiehne, Scott Foy from position number 8. From 9 is Tony Snedden, Glenn Rose, Scotty Cannon, Ray Eggins, Kevin Green and Mark Robinson. He'll be impressive to watch from position number 14.
That's a fair way back, and we haven't captured too much of the action from Mark Robinson, but he is talented in that Valvoline machine. We're green, 20 laps of the mad V8 Dirt Modifieds here at Parramatta City Raceway. They fan out. Keep an eye further back through the field. You can see Scott Cannon on screen in that Kaisak powder coatings, Richard Petty machine. Oh, we got one real loose, the blue machine out of turn 4.
Yeah, I think that's Rodney shooting car number 76. Bradley Lowe's on the moving car 41, running high there through turns 1 and 2, being pushed back to 5th. And look at the Queenslander, Bruce Kiehne on the inside in car number 6.
He had mechanical troubles the last time he was out here on during ever since that time. And good to see him in this A main event. A very good field of V8 Dirt Modified cars here. Brad Lowe in that low earth moving car 41 on an absolute tear. We've got one around in turn number 2. Brian Poole is the man. In car 57, the service powder coating machine, you'd expect a yellow light situation, and it is presented to us now.
Yeah, getting set for a complete restart, single file. And Bruce Kiehne, as we said, been the man on the moving car number 6, the Queenslander, has moved up into 2nd position. Watch him on the restart, 17 laps left to run.
Well, Colin, I know you've been involved in various capacities at Parramatta City Raceway for some time. Oh no, car 68 and Eggers makes contact. One of the hot fancies. Ian Turner in the yellow machine spun around in turn number 2. Rodney Shute in car 76. You'll be saying, oh, shoot, in more ways than one.
Ian Turner, 0 to 0. He was leading the feature race there and now is out of the event after spinning in front of the field.
The track is going off, fair to say, on the bottom 2/3 of the track. I think running the top, just like Mark Robertson is doing now. We've seen Max Dunsley and Joey Saldana do it in sprint cars. He could deliver a good result if you're willing to go up there here.
Yeah, shot there of Snedden in car number 99. Scotty Cannon also working his way through this field. Rodney Shute, car 76. He runs mid-track, very loose. Scott Foy on the inside in car number 75.
Just going to say, Colin, of course, you've been involved at Parramatta for a long time, for many years. In fact, since the inception. Look at Robertson on the top. V8 Dirt Mods are a regular feature of PCR. How have they changed? Have they changed a lot over the years?
Oh, they sure have, Dean. I think they've got closer to sprint cars in speed. You see problems now for Josh Brown in car number 7. He loops it there in turn number 2.
But look at Mark Robertson, Colin Farr. He has been magnificent, slingshotting around on the very top part of the racetrack. It's been awesome watching him.
Tony Snedden there getting caught up in car number 99. He's been able to restart in his position number 6. 15 laps still left to run.
Sorry, mate. Keep an eye on this Valvoline car number 9. Mark Robinson. Look at him out of turn number 2, hiking almost that left front wheel in a V8 Dirt Modified. Here he comes around. Bruce Kiehne. Oh, washes off a lot of speed. Try and describe in a car like this how rough it is to drive up there, Colin. Is it really assaulting on the body?
It is, Dean, and the other thing is it's a real knife edge because if you can hit a rut or a bump the wrong way, it can really unsettle the machine. Even just turn you to the right side really quick as we see a shot now. Battle for the lead. Robertson right around the outside. Great driving.
Yeah, super driving from Mark Robertson. We've seen him in one of the Reef Crack Titan car. Gets the bit between his teeth through pits bend, turns 3 and 4. Great V8 dirt modified action side by side. Oh, I'm telling you, Colin, a lot of people are saying they'd love to see these guys at the track more often, and when they turn on racing like this, why wouldn't you?
Well, what a race here for the lead. You're seeing two clearly different lines on the racetrack. Robinson using a lot of throttle running around the top. Kiehne, the Queenslander in car number 6, he's getting right off the throttle, using the brake and just trying to keep the car very low on the racetrack.
Oh, you got to love it. And the fans always love Colin, don't they? A driver, no matter what category, be it speed cars, sprint cars, or dirt modified, someone that's willing to try the top side of a racetrack, it's always spectacular.
Yeah, sure is, Dean. As we see a problem now for Shute. Rodney Shute, car number 76, he's had a tough night.
Yeah, he might be pushed off to the back chute now after that performance. Sorry, Rodney. Yeah, tough night for him, but he'll stick at it. One of the V8 dirt modified stars. Restart situation, 10 laps remaining. You've got to like Robinson's chances here. And looks like, is that Snedden copying maybe what Robinson did earlier?
Yeah, Robinson there in car number 9, the Valvoline machine. He's worked his way through this field by running this top groove. You can see coming out of the bumps there out of turn number 4, as opposed to our second place runner, Kiehne, who runs the bottom.
Yeah, checkered flag, proudly presented by Squirt the Dirt. Driver sprint car, contact 1-800-630-930. Titan Garages and Sheds, Speedway Racing News, and Rod Bowen Prestige Smash Repairs. And talking about great action here, the V8 Dirt Modifieds, Bruce Kiehne still committed to the bottom. Obviously, that's where they've set the car up to work, Colin, in this feature race.
Just thinking the same thing, Dean. He's obviously be hard. He's been leading this race quite comfortably. He's seen Robinson catch him and now just pull away on the top side of the racetrack. But if he's made the adjustments to the car is only suited to run down the bottom. It would be unsettled if he went up to the top.
Yeah, Tony Snedden doing a good job now in that Dave Bryan Race Engines Valley Signworks machine, car 99. Trying to reel in our race leader, or in fact our first few. Scott Cannon a fair way back. I expected Scott to be maybe a little further up at this stage, but he too is trying it upstairs, up over the cushion.
Yes, I think Scotty's tried just about everything there. He went top to bottom. He's now running in third position. You can see how it unsettles the car there on entry, running up through those bumps.
A lot of travel on the left rear. Do you think that's how the car's set up? Almost a wheel stand out of turn for Scott Cannon, but a lot of travel on that left rear tyre. I don't know if that's a problem with the shocky at the back end there.
This battle for the lead now starting to intensify. Looks like Kiehne is starting to have a good run on the inside. They're only side by side now. He's going to turn number 1, and there's some lap traffic as well.
Yeah, Bruce Kiehne retakes lesson. Dice lap traffic. That's the 57 machine of Brian Poole. Gee, Mark Robinson, if you win this, he takes the lead again out of turn 4. If he wins it, he's really earned his brownie points and his prize money tonight. Wow.
Well, Robinson there looked like he had this race shot to pieces, pulling away. Then he began to slow, and Kiehne got back through on the inside. He has retaken the lead. The yellow lights have come out. That's a problem for Snedden in car number 99.
Funny, I was going to say, Colin, just on this subject, when you run up top in that rough clay, it can be very tough on engines. You can unhook them and rehook them, and it can always twist the crank out of the car, you hear some people say. And that looks quite serious for Tony. So, in fact, they've declared the race with 2 laps to go, and that's going to mean Mark Robinson takes the win from Bruce Kiehne. Scott Cannon in 3rd place. What a great feature race. I guess Kiehne's going to wonder what if and but.
Exactly, but you have to say, I think Robinson had the car speed. Maybe got balked a little bit in traffic and lost a bit of ground, but soldiered back on the outside and took back over the lead. We go down trackside now and talk to our top 3, and after the break, speed car action on checkered flag.
Yeah, it did get better along the race when those guys got away early, and I had a long way to chase them down, and it's good to those guys, and come back better next time.
Enjoy that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was hard racing with Mark, but I'd like to thank my Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ for keeping us all safe here tonight. Also, all my team, my wife and all my kids who made it possible for us to race here tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, we sort of, before we come out at the start of the feature, that we bet on running up high, so that's where we stuck, and, you know, thankfully we had a good run up through there and to get past everyone. The sponsors, Valvoline, thanks for your support. We haven't had a great year, and it's good to come down and finish one.